African heads of state have been urged to stop the theft of over $100 billion, representing some 25% of Africa's gross domestic products, stolen every year from the continent by local and international collaborators. The stolen funds were said to be enough to transform Africa, in 1 year, into one of the most beautiful continents, where good roads, social security, access to health and education are provided for the teeming population currently ravaged by poverty, famine and hunger. These were the demands by participants at the 33rd Anti-Corruption Situation Room conference held in Abuja with support from the MacArthur Foundation, where they also called for an international anti-corruption court that would prosecute Africans who steal public funds. According to them, countries in Europe and America that receive such illicit funds should also be prosecuted. The conference, organized by the anti-corruption organization Human and Environmental Development Agenda, HEDA Resource Center, was attended by the former Prime Minister of Senegal and member of Club de Madrid, Aminata Touré. A statement issued on Wednesday by the communication officer of HEDA, Nuruddin Salako, said the Club of Madrid is a gathering of some 100 former presidents and prime ministers covering over 70 countries. Representatives of African Union Advisory Board on Corruption, Economic Community of West African States, Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, Commissioner, Anti-Corruption Commission of Sierra Leone, International Anti-Corruption Steering Treaty Drafting Committee, IACC, Justice Richard Goldstone, Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, former Chief Judge of Anambra State, Justice Peter Umedi, are among many global anti-corruption experts that took part in the conference. The request to stop the massive looting of public funds was part of the recommendation made by the participants. After deliberations, the participants said corruption is a global problem and remains a major impediment to economic growth, human development and prosperity. Corruption is a threat to development, weakens institutions, fuels poverty and endangers stability across Africa. Corruption is fueling war, misery and extremism across Africa. The government and the people need to unite to put an end to the scourge, the statement emphasized. The participants called on the continent to frame a discussion of corruption around local realities. They observed that corruption is growing wings to the extent that fears of corporate capture of the state are real. Obstacles occasioned by privileges that place selected people above law and order should be removed. Stolen funds should be repatriated by host countries, not just the capital, but also the excess interests that proceeds from years of banking such illicit funds. They said in the recommendation, African countries were urged to give living narratives to corruption issues as they affect education, health, security in a way that the ordinary people can easily connect and understand. They said, there is the need for renewed capacity building for judges with a new curriculum that addresses corruption, while there should be secured tenure of office for drivers of anti-corruption institutions. The participants also said that the UNCAC should be amended to ensure the setting up of an international anti-corruption court, which should ensure the prosecution of criminals at home and in countries where the proceeds of crime are domiciled should be held accountable. For effective service delivery, they called for the need for independent auditing for political aspirants before elections are held. Nigeria should improve her anti-corruption profile in order to reflect her status as the largest economy in Africa. There is the need for constant education and enlightenment. ECOWAS and all regional institutions should be strengthened to fight corruption effectively, they noted. The participants, who called for the creation of an African network of the Friends of International Anti-Corruption Court to be led by HEDA, commended the HEDA Resource Center for its commitment to the fight against corruption at great risk to its officials, while the MacArthur Foundation and the Integrity Initiative International were deeply appreciated for their support.